in 3 books. I'm working on book 4, and I get asked all the time, how do you plot out a book? Let's talk about it. Number 1, you're gonna start with 3 acts. Act 1, Act 2, Act 3. There are a few crucial points you need to hit within the 3 acts, and if you do this right, you can realistically plot out a whole book, the bare bones version of it, in about 30 minutes. It just depends on how much creative juices you have flowing. Act 1 of your story is where your characters and the world is introduced. You also introduce your main character's internal motivations and their external motivations. By the end of Act 1, I like to end Act 1 with something called crossing the threshold, and that is where your character leaves everything that is familiar to them and enters the new, and that's typically where the introduction of like the external motivations and driving force of the story are going to be introduced. So Katniss Everdeen gets on the train because she volunteered as tribute and she's headed to the capital. Act 2 is going to be the biggest and longest section of your book and can be the trickiest. I like to focus on what is the goal of the character, what are they trying to do, and what are roadblocks that I can put in their way to make it harder for them to get to that goal, their external and their internal goals. By the end of Act 2, your character is going to hit the climax of their story. That's where like the big fight scene is happening, the very last obstacle they have to overcome to meet the external goals or the external plot of the story. Act 2 ends with that, and Act 3 is your resolution. So in Act 3, after your character has completed their task, they've done the thing they've set out to do, you have to wrap up loose ends. You have to show that your character has grown. They are not the same person they started this story out as. Their internal journey has wrapped up. They are a new person. They've learned things along the way, and it's going to help lead them into the rest of whatever it's going to be. If it's going to be a series, if it's all done, you have to show some sort of wrap up, and you have to give your readers and yourself and your characters just a rest. All is well for now, unless you're going forward. If it's done, all is well. If it's going to be continued, all is well for now, with the, availability to add more in the rest of the series. More obstacles for this character to overcome, but for now, they get a rest. They've done the thing they set out to do. Hooray. After you get these 3 pillars for your story mapped out and those few pivotal scenes that I mentioned, you're gonna have ideas for things that you want your characters to go through, and so you kind of just find places for those to fit within that outline. So maybe you have like this vision for how, if it's a romance, if there's a subplot, how the main character and their romantic interest interact for the first time. What does that meeting look like? Find a place to put it on the plot with any notes that you have. The most important thing that I want to impress upon you though is that plotting does not have to be hard.